I enjoyed living in China. The people were fascinated by me, and it was a good time. It was that and so much more. So not only was I American, I was a Black American and a Black American female, and at the time, I had locks in my hair, and so like I liken it to like a zebra walking down the street. Like people would stop and stare and tap their friends and take my picture and like kind of move themselves so they're standing next to me. And it was like I had friends that would like flank me, so like it was almost like a football team, and they would like stand around me so people couldn't take my picture or hand me their babies or feel my hair. It was very weird. No, I didn't get pinched, but there was one time when a man just kind of pulled up my sleeve, and I was like, "Yep, I'm still back there." Like that's like, I'm not kidding. Like, it's, yep. Uh, but I enjoyed it overall. Like the food was good. Things were cheap. Once you were in Asia, it was relatively cheap to travel around Asia, so I got to see a lot of the surrounding countries. We've been talking about food, and the same way that here people would say like, "Do you want fries with that?" Over there, they would ask at a restaurant, and so what's your green vegetable? Like, oh, like, so I'll have bok choy. I don't know. And so like I the food was oily, but it was very flavorful and very fresh. Like they people would go to the supermarket every day, and there was lots of there were lots of vegetables. There were lots of. I learned some Mandarin. I learned a very basic amount of Mandarin. I had my first year there. I hung out with some other American teachers, and I had a few Chinese friends, mostly the um, the Chinese English teachers at my school. Um, and so since they spoke English, it was like I would spend time with them also, and like we would share an office, and I'd get invited to dinner sometimes. And then my second year there, I had fewer American friends and like one or two like really close Chinese friends. I remember one. Her name was Emily, and we've grown apart since. But she really took care of me like family, and I remember she had at one point said, "Well, if you ever like want to come over for dinner or just kind of want to hang out at my house, that's fine." And like usually people say that to you, and you're just like, whatever. But like I did like I would call her up and say, "Can I come over? I'm bored or I'm lonely," and she sure of course never turned me down, and I would eat dinner with them every Sunday night and random nights, and um, massages are really cheap in China, so sometimes we would go and get like a foot massage after, or we'd just like take a walk, or it was like a second family. I never felt like I was imposing with them, which is nice, especially when you're in a foreign country and you only have the basics of a language. So
It's kind of a different view or understanding of what the word hospitality means
yeah, yeah.
when you're on the other side of it.
Mhm. Mhm. Yes, yes. I think that um, living in a different country, I think traveling in general just gives you a completely different perspective of the world. Like when you're in America, everything makes sense because you're looking at it through this context. But when you're someplace else, then the things that they do make sense there. Like, and like, oh, yeah, I guess that's what I would do if I was here. I never drove in China, so it was. I took a fair amount of taxis and used public transportation most of the time. Um, and I don't remember like it wasn't a um, it wasn't a fearful experience or one of the craziest road experiences I've had. It was pretty normal. It's pretty. Ni hao. And I would say that I miss you, and I really appreciated how kind and warm you were to me. Um, and I think about those times very fondly.